CM Punk challenged to a real fight by an ex-AEW star. Plus, Roman Reigns' next WWE challenger may have been revealed, and scrapped plans for a Raw Stars NXT return have also been revealed. It's all in the wrestling news right now. It's been quite the week for CM Punk. Chancery Montgomery Punk has been the center of a lot of wrestling conversation, and it's certainly going to be clobbering time if Bobby Fish has anything to say about it. What's Bobby been going on about?
Bobby Fish has addressed the confrontation between CM Punk and the Elite backstage at All Out, which we talked about a little bit more on the last news video and on various news videos on this channel so far.
And since time memoriam, it seems like.
But he was on the Undisputed podcast and said, let's just make this a formal invitation to Phil. I'm down if that's the direction he wants to go. And I mean, he can pick the time, the place, we can do it in Chicago. He was then asked to clarify if he was challenging CM Punk to a fight and said, I mean, that would be kind of fun, right? It can be boxing, it could be kickboxing, it could be MMA. I mean, we can do this bare knuckled, whatever sounds good to Phil. He can pick the weight, he can pick the place. Excuse me, a little burp there. Like I said, whatever he wants to do.
Is that still from the Bobby Fish?
No, that was my own improv.
Bobby Fish going, I'll fight him. Oh, little burp.
Little burpee, sorry.
Bit of windy pops.
Whatever he wants to do, but yeah, let's make it official. I mean, there's a lot of people talking about this story right now in the wrestling world. But
what, beating up CM Punk?
No, talking about the Punk thing. But Bobby Fish really does seem to be trying to make this about himself. And I'm like, Bobby, it's not about you, Bobby. It's not.
Bobby had some choice words for Punk during that
I know that
match.
You're the fourth most interesting member of the Undisputed Era, and that's brilliant. But why are you trying to make... No, he's going to want to fight me now, Tom.
He has a bank account with his mother. Now, as I say, there was a little bit of this from Bobby Fish towards CM Punk during that minute-and-a-half title match we had on Dynamite in the run-up to All Out, where he was kind of calling out CM Punk for his awful kickboxing skills, his kicking skills and stuff. And it turns out that Bobby Fish, who has a penchant for kickboxing, wanted to do this in AEW. He said, since May, I've tried to get Tony Khan to sit down with me no less than 5 times to ask permission to do a kickboxing fight. It was actually something that I talked with other people in the company about, but I could never nail Tony down. In Tony's defense, he's a busy man, especially on TV days. It is what it is, but I wanted permission to do a fight. I couldn't get there with Tony.
Oh, so...
that'd have been quite an interesting little spectacle.
Well, I was going to say, does this mean that he wanted to do that on a Dynamite, or is this permission to go off to like a kickboxing company and do it professionally?
I would have thought by the way he phrased it, he wanted to incorporate it as something for Dynamite, as like a bit of creative for Dynamite. Well, a kickboxing fight.
If it was that way round, if it was on actual AEW TV, then I suspect the fact that Tony sat down 5 times and brushed it off 5 times means that he maybe wasn't that interested in having
I think maybe he tried to sit him down.
Right.
Tony, but he was trying to push him down in the chair, and Tony was fighting up against it, and then Tony went, oh, look, over there. It's Matt Riddle with a funny joke, and then ran away.
It could have been, it could have been that he wanted to go off to a different company and do it and just wanted permission from his employer, I guess, to go and do that, which is fair enough. But he then reiterated his challenge to CM Punk, saying, now it's no secret I don't need anyone's permission at this point, so yeah, let's make this S-word official. Punk, let's flipping go. I think that's how someone else would say it. CM Punk, Bobby Fish, let's fight. Why not? Now, fair play to Bobby Fish. I feel like I was a little bit harsh before, because imagine if Punk actually agreed to this, it would raise Bobby Fish's profile massively. So I do understand why he's done it, but I just can't see it panning out at all.
Of all the people to challenge, the man that the entire industry is talking about.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense. Another man that the industry was talking about over the weekend was Roman Reigns, who sent all of Wales home crying when he beat Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. I was there. Owen was there. Andrew was there. We all sat together, and while Sam was filming on the platform with the real boys of the editing world. I'm very happy for him. Very happy for him. You've seen some of the great footage that we got from the show. Whoa, get in. But when that 3 count went down, it was like an away team losing 5-0. Yeah, that's what it felt like. People storming. There were people storming out. I saw at least a bottle thrown. People weren't happy. Afterwards, in the press conference, when asked what was next for him, Roman Reigns simply got Alex McCarthy to acknowledge him and then left. And that was the worst thing to ever happen in a press conference for Wrestling all weekend.
Yes. But now Roman Reigns moving forward, what's next for him? Well, Tom, I think we may have found out because he was doing a promo on Raw Talk. No, sorry, he wasn't doing a promo on Raw Talk. What am I talking about? Kevin Owens was doing a promo on Raw Talk and told Megan Morant what his goal is going forward, saying, my goal is the same as I stated a few weeks ago. I want to be a champion in WWE again. There's a lot of titles I'm gunning for. I'm gunning for all of them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're usually not on Raw. You're a SmackDown gal. Okay, are you going to be at SmackDown this week? Because if you see Roman Reigns, can you do me a favor? Can you remind him that he owes me? I appreciate it. So obviously this isn't confirmation that Kevin Owens is the next challenger for Roman Reigns, but he's certainly been positioned as one of potential challenges for Roman Reigns next.
And he's been larking about a bit with the Bloodline as of late. He and Sami Zayn have encountered each other, and the Bloodline have been involved in that as well. He beat Jey Uso last week on Raw. So Kevin certainly has legitimate beef and is a credible challenger for for Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah.
I see that as a, would it be a feud that Roman would drop the belts to? Probably not. But in terms of a credible match, they had a banger at the Rumble. Was it last year?
The Falls Count Anywhere match. Yes, that was fantastic. With Paul Heyman in the handcuffs, that was fantastic.
Yes.
Well, I mean, apart from that bit, but it was really good. It was really good.
So they played the game before, and they've had a good time in doing so. And Kevin Owens has been rejuvenated by the change in management in WWE. And I feel like a main event push, even for a little bit, I think would be a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Talking of titles, the fans will decide the fate of the NXT Championships next week. It is the 1-year anniversary of NXT 2.0, and they are celebrating with some rather unique title matches, are they, sir?
They certainly are. Unique for one particular reason. So, Pretty Deadly will face the Creed brothers for the NXT Tag Team titles in a match where the fans choose the stipulation. It's like Taboo Tuesday all over again. Fans can choose if the match is no DQ, tornado rules, or a steel cage. I don't know, none of them are from the West Midlands, know why I've done that.
I want a steel cage,
Meanwhile, also, Carmelo Hayes will defend the North American title, but this time there's an online vote for the opponent, Tom. Who are the potential candidates?
Von Wagner.
Yes! Come on!
Come Tuesday,
No.
he could be North American champion. What did you think, man? Joe Gacy. I think it'd be nice if I had a crack at the title. I'm not upset. But currently leading the fan vote online, I had a little check on this morning. It's Wesley.
Oh, I like Wesley, obviously, but no.
Currently top of the tree. Currently a top vote.
Yes, that would probably be the best match and everything, but where's everyone's sense of fun?
Why are we so bothered about wrestling matches being good? That's sarcasm, by the way. I know sometimes you can struggle with that. But I like the idea of a Wesley Carmelo Hayes match.
I love the idea of bringing back the fan votes.
Yeah.
Because for years now, everyone's been wondering, in the age of social media, why has there not been another Cyber Sunday? And obviously, you can't have the fans vote
because
on every single thing.
every title will be challenged by Boaty McBoatface.
Right,
that's why.
But it'd be great fun. And I think if they find a way to do it where the fans are voting for a little bit here and a little bit there, rather than having control of the whole show, I can't believe I can't believe WWE have never really tried it in earnest again.
Who was the Newcastle player that was a writing candidate on all the votes the other week?
I don't know.
There was something on Twitter that did the rounds.
Club. Oh, it was Nick Pope.
Nick Pope, yeah, that's it. So expect Pope to get a title shot next week when that happens. Standing on a bit of NXT-related news, Finn Balor, during the media scrum, so the media junket for a Clash at the Castle, had a chat with Alex McCarthy for Inside the Ropes. And Finn Balor said, acknowledge me, Alex McCarthy. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. But Finn Balor was asked about a possible NXT return.
He said, when I discussed it before, I pitched the idea of going with the AOP, the Authors of Pain, saying, looking back, it might have been a bit too similar to the Bullet Club, and I feel that when you're trying to recreate something, it's never as good as the original. He also then talked about comparisons between the Bullet Club and the Judgment Day, saying, I feel like the Judgment Day is something so far removed from the Bullet Club that it's very refreshing for me, especially not having to try and recreate what I've done years and years ago. He also said he's more creatively fulfilled right now than he has been for a long time.
Love the idea of Finn Balor leading the AOP.
I was about to say, what did you think of that? But yeah.
That's a great idea. Like Balor as a mouthpiece for Akam and Razor. Like Balor is such a great wrestler in his own right. I think working with those two would have benefited those two at the time.
Yes.
And what an imposing team.
Oh, I miss the AOP, you know.
I love the idea of Balor being NXT champion, but having the AOP as like bouncers that keep the belt on him. That's cool.
I can totally see why he would have pitched it, but at the same time, I guess maybe he means visually. They wore a lot of like black attire.
Yeah.
Maybe he means it would have looked a bit too similar to the Bullet Club. I know it wouldn't have been as all-encompassing and multi-promotional a thing as the Bullet Club, but I kind of see what he means, though.
It's a shame because obviously Finn Balor had big plans on Monday Night Raw, and AEW had big plans in Nottingham. So that sadly didn't come to pass for one reason or another. What a fun time that was. Are you twitching tonight?
I am with Owen Mawson. We are taking the reins of the Fabes from 6 p.m. UK time. That is twitch.tv/Cultaholic.
And a brand new episode of Desert Island Graps later today. I had a lovely chat last night with Mike Bennett.
Oh, lovely.
Great. And of course, we talked about the greatest theme music I've ever known. That's the one.
Oh, good. I was halfway through. I was like, he's going to bait and switch me here. He's going to go the Rock's theme music.
Sadly, no, I couldn't think that quick, but that was a lovely rendition of it. That'll be on the podcast feed, and you can watch it on the Patreon as well. Patreon.com/Cultaholic. And there will be more wrestling news throughout the day at Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye. My voice might be back tomorrow. You never know.